Hey YouTube people, it is the 24th of November and this is my first vlog style video. So as of posting it, I guess I'll be a YouTuber, which is pretty cool, I've got to say. Yeah, so I'm trying to document my quest to film a video part in my hometown. I've got to say, I think I've been living in a fantasy world the last few years, thinking, oh yeah, I could film some tricks here, but I haven't actually done anything about it. I think I'm guilty of playing too many video games, or just doing some other hobbies, or hanging around and just being in a delusion that I can do this. So what's going on in this video? Well, pretty much nothing. I'm just getting a bit of flat ground for about an hour. Yeah, so I thought it'd be good to sort of get started and sort of have a look back at my tricks. It's not something I've done very much, but I think from seeing other people around me do it, I think the idea of being able to watch yourself back and being more like connected in your skateboarding even when you're not skateboarding is going to be a massive help. And already just filming this, I've seen some things that I didn't know I did, and are like a surprise to me. So I just did a switchback 180 there. That's one of the tricks I'd like to film, maybe down some stairs at some point soon. And just trying to film it here, I realized, how not like really up to par I think it is. So it's already really interesting. Yeah, I want to sort of help myself improve my style and the way I sort of do my tricks, because yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's all about having fun, but also I think it's kind of fun actually to sort of analyze how you do something, or maybe trying to improve. I mean, we're all just trying to copy what we see and maybe put a creative spin on it and improve how we skate. So I think the watching back can really like see the things that you do, the little things that can either help or hinder your skating. And here we're gonna maybe take a look at that. Blah blah blah. Right? What it's on about. Just ignore that outburst there. I just kind of became a bit too self-aware of what I'm doing here. Kind of talking about my flat ground skating. No, so one of the main things I'm trying to focus on right now is my posture when I'm setting up for a trick. Here, I just do it here. I sort of catch myself bending down, I think, a little bit too much, or kind of crunching at the spine a bit. So what I've been trying to improve on is doing my tricks a little bit straighter backed, because I think that can only improve your pop. So instead of doing a trick hunched up and sort of split at the waist, I'm trying to be a little bit more straight spined. Yeah, there's a few things I do in this vid that I really wasn't aware I did. So here's just a little switchback 180 segment, and it really sort of highlights how I don't think it's going to quite cut it getting it down some stairs right now. I think my main problem with these is I'm not swinging my arms enough before I pop, sort of creating that momentum before I pop. I'm sort of doing it as a sort of a late spin, and I think that's not really helpful. I need to give it a little bit more of a swing. I don't know why I do my nollie shots like that. I just think it's kind of fun. Yeah, so I think if I swung my arms a little bit more, or swing my shoulders potentially, Yeah. Oh, here I get the great idea of doing sort of more what would you call that, profile skateboarding, and I really had no idea that my back leg was so bent inwards on my kickflips. Like my knees are nearly touching. I really had no idea I did that. I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna think about whether that's maybe the best way I want to kickflip or not. I'm not too sure. I aesthetically, I don't think it. I don't know. I don't think it looks the best, but we'll see if I can do it any other way. Here, I think it's kind of cool if I could land a hat on the camera for some kind of cool transition, which failed. So another thing I'm trying to change in the way I skate is when I'm popping tricks, I'm trying to look ahead of myself more. Instead of being too focused on my feet whilst I'm doing the trick, I'm trying to look, imagine that there's an obstacle ahead of me. It's not something I'm doing right here on the switch flip. As you can see, I'm really looking down. I do sort of try and force myself to look forward a little bit there, but I'm mainly struggling with this one on that day. So I really focused on my feet. And I think this looking forward, I think it can only help because it's actually been really enjoyable to just flick a trick and just kind of hope that you're gonna muscle memory it and land it. And it's actually been improving the way I've been kick flipping, I think. I think it's been making my kick flips a little bit bigger and kind of more fluid, which is not really shown here in the switch flips. Here, I'm actually like really struggling with it. I don't know what's up with it. I kind of try and force myself a few times to look ahead of myself, but because it just wasn't flipping good that day, I had to sort of resort to looking back a little bit more. Yeah, I definitely think that switch flip nose manual is something I'd really like to try and film. It's just been on my mind for so long, that one. Yeah, in this next and final segment, I'm trying a lot of Vero heels. It's a trick I tend to have pretty consistent, maybe about 8 out of 10 times. And yeah, I don't know why it's so consistent for me. It's just everyone's got their tricks there they can kind of do naturally. Yeah, in this clip right here, you see that I kind of didn't like my posture, so I kind of try and readjust to sort of form this new muscle memory. I think maybe Chris Cole is a good example of, I think, a good straight back posture that I'm trying to sort of think about here a little bit more. Yeah, it maybe as a little tip for Vero heels, I don't know if anyone's trying them or struggling, but before I even pop, I kind of build up the pressure of the front shove on my 2 feet, so pushing on the board before I even pop, and so that when I do pop and release it, the flick kind of goes really fast. Here I've always sort of dreamt about catching my Vero heels one-footed, a little bit like that front shove, and I kind of try this a little bit, but I just can't. There's something about the way the Vero heel kind of flips slower that I haven't quite got the hang of. And here I'm trying to think, oh, I need to catch my board a little bit earlier, as before it's even rotated the 180, sort of how people catch their hard flips at 90. But I don't know, I guess that's just something I need to work on. Yeah, that's about everything I can think of saying. I can't believe I've talked for so long. Yeah, these last few days I had a few trips into town, and I looked at a few spots I could maybe skate. But everything seems a bit difficult right now. But maybe they'll come in the next installment. Yep.